Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. And now this video is a clip from the McKola and Rory Podcast, episode 6. Now, if you want to hear the full podcast, the link is in the description below. But sit back, kick back, relax. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. And enjoy a little clip where we discuss refereeing and, of course, some of the things that I enjoyed from Manchester United this weekend. Check it out.
And do you remember the Blackburn? Do you remember the Blackburn Rovers era beyond that, like the slightly later? And they had that Morton Gamps Pedersen, best left foot ever.
I was at a game at United, and they beat us 2-1 in 2005. It was around when Roma had come in and Chelsea were starting to dominate. And I was sat in the close to the tunnel, but close to the ground. So I was quite near the front, and I was about 16. United had lost. Fergie was walking past me, and I remember some geezer from behind me just giving Fergie stick, like saying, "Fucking Fergie, this, that." And to me, that was like, what? Like, huh? What's going on? And I remember me and him just started arguing. I was 16-year-old little.
No, you did the right thing. I mean, you did the right thing.
I remember thinking, like, that's where we were in 2005. Even people were getting on Fergie's back, and that was because of Mort Gantz Pennison that day.
Yeah, brilliant player. But yeah, like, there's no way. Look, this is something that we'll never know. But from my two penneth on this, I don't think Alan Shearer is held in the same regard if he didn't have the Blackburn Rovers Premier League medal. If he didn't score all those goals with Chris Sutton up front, I don't think he's held in the same regard. And I don't think his opinion could be held in. You know, when he gives his opinion on how to win a Premier League, if he didn't have one, people would say no. You know, there'd always be that speculation about it. And Harry Kane is currently looking at his trophy cabinet going, hang on a minute, I am one of the best players in the world. I am one of the best football, and I think everybody agrees that he is that. And yet, history could be really unkind to Harry Kane if he's not careful. And I think it's looking like, it's now looking more likely that he's not going to get any silverware. It's gone the other way, hasn't it?
And what he's got going up against him is, if you look at the current era of strikers around him, your Romelu Lukaku, He's won a Scudetto. He'll probably win a few trophies with Chelsea. You know what I mean? If you look at who else is the big strikers at the moment, Luis Suarez around the same era, Cristiano Ronaldo. I know you have to put him into that bracket, unfortunately. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has even won cups and things for Dortmund. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you look around at his the competition in his generation, a lot of those top strikers have lifted trophies.
Yes.
And that's where you then start to get forgotten about.
Because that's what strikers do. Strikers do that. But the problem is as well, Tottenham fans now, because of Harry Kane's conduct this summer, Tottenham fans now are a little bit, they struggle with it a bit. You know, Tottenham fans are like, yeah, he's good, but he's not, you know, he's not as good as Ricky Villa.
Yeah. Lying to themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
It's what football fans do, though. It's what some United fans still hold Wayne Rooney with a little bit of a, and Wayne Rooney achieved it all. And So
those transfer requests, and the desperation to move, it's sort of unforgivable, isn't it? To fans of a club, if you don't want to play for our club, we can't hold you. We can't pretend to love you. I mean, or maybe we can pretend to love you, but it will always cut us a bit deep. Because the other thing is as well, it will never be forgotten because people like me won't let it be. Whenever Tottenham fans tells me how good Harry Kane is, I'll just go, yeah, but he don't even want to play for you. He hates you.
And it's true.
And it's true. No, I'm not even lying. Yeah.
Your line to Mitch was great yesterday when he went, but he's playing like, he looks like he doesn't want to be there. And he went, he doesn't look like he doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to be there.
Like, he told us he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, I found that funny as well. Rory, yesterday, over the weekend, actually, we have seen a lot of poor refereeing decisions. Like, just in the United game alone, there were a lot of incorrect ones. But then you look at, where else were they this week?
Oh, they were everywhere.
City, like the penalty that got overturned.
Carl Walker's thing was ridiculous. Yeah, Carl Walker was ridiculous. But Man United, Adam, like we can have the refereeing chat in one. We can have the refereeing chat in one segment, in one match. We can just look at one match and use that as our case study for the terrible refereeing. You look at what happened at Manchester United, and look, you and I watched the bulk of that game together. I didn't realise it was as bad until I had Match of the Day 2 on. And then all of a sudden you're going, hang on a minute, Ronaldo should have had a hat-trick. It's definitely two. definitely 2, maybe 3, probably 3, in fact.
And to be fair, West Ham should have had one.
West Ham should have had one as well.
Tackle on Souček.
Yeah, got it all wrong. Wrong. So you just think the other one that I just thought was ridiculous. Why did the referee need to go to the screen to award the penalty against Luke Shaw? Luke Shaw is dancing in the penalty area. He's doing a Macarena, and he's caught the ball effectively in the last minute. It's obviously a penalty. Why does the referee not have the gumption and the conviction to just point to the penalty spot? What are you going to watch it on telly for?
Yeah,
it's pathetic. Yeah,
that's the problem. VAR isn't the issue. It's the poor refereeing that we got, and we saw more evidence of it during the European Championship when we saw that actually VAR's not too bad when the referees are decent. Do you know what I mean? And at the moment, the Premier League have got this weird thing. United conceded against Southampton. At the time, I thought it wasn't a foul. When I watched it back again, it was a stonewall foul on Bruno Fernandes in the lead up to their goal. And I feel like because they're trying to allow football to play on and have a little bit more physicality, they've lost the balance of calling correct decisions. And there were some shockers this weekend. And it happened at the start of last season. I remember there was a handball given against Lindelof, which shouldn't have been given because he was running and it just hit his hand. And then they started changing the rules. And I just think it's mental when they do that midway through a season. Obviously, you need to correct things, but they just start, oh, well, the decisions we made last week, we're not going to make them anymore. And it's like, why didn't you just call it at the time as you saw it? The refereeing is abysmal. And for the game of football to be where it is, everything is better, apparently, and referees are just still shit. It's a sad state of affairs, unfortunately. Anything that you want to add on them before we move to the in the red and in the blue corner?
No, I think we've covered it nicely, actually. And I'm looking forward to what comes next.
Yeah, I am as well. Now, in the red corner, I want to keep it brief this week, but I want to talk about De Gea and Lingard. I thought they were incredible against West Ham. When you look at the moments that they came up with after Jesse Lingard's poor week, a mistake in Europe, which cost us a point, gave 3 points to Young Boys. For him to step up in this game when we really needed a win with the kind of goal that he scored, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And it showed you the mental resolve and the mental strength that Jesse Lingard has. But also, there's a beauty in someone fighting for their future at the club that they love. And we can all argue that, yeah, he'll be a free agent at the end of the season. It could be very lucrative to him. But he's fighting to play for Manchester United. And I love that. And David De Gea, I've stuck by him this whole time. And this start of the season, it feels like it's been justified. When you look at the penalty save, I didn't have any confidence in him saving that penalty at all. It was an incredible save. But throughout the season, Southampton at 1-1, he made a fantastic save. Wolves at 1-0, he made a fantastic save. De Gea's gaining us points at the minute, and it hasn't been that way for the last year or two. So David De Gea and Jesse Lingard were incredible. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer deserves credit this weekend for his substitutions because midweek he was criticised, and rightly so, for his substitutes because they were awful. The in-game management was awful. One of the things I'm a massive fan of Tommy Tickles is his in-game management. He sees things, he solves it, and then Chelsea are better for it. And I feel at time, Ole's in-game management can let him down, but a lot of the time it also helps him. And we saw that this weekend. He brings on Matic, he brings on Lingard, and they both connect to score the winner for Man United. So hats off to Ole, but special shouts out to De Gea and Lingard. And it feels like we've got a team, and you mentioned it on the kickoff. If you win here, could be a big moment. Could be a big moment. It can make you feel like you are challenging this season, and you're right. Hopefully that's the win that kind of gives us that belief.
Thank you for watching, guys. Now, make sure you're heading over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, Amazon, all those places, Audio Boom as well, to listen to our podcast. The full episode is already up. So head over to the McKola and Rory Podcast. Follow us on Spotify. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. All that good stuff to help our podcast grow. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you're keeping it locked. Until next time, I've been AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.